you?
I heard that you have been accepted to join Lee.
Congratulations. About those missing people. Isn't this a case for the militia?
The militia is pretty useless if you ask me. They're never going to clear this up. The missing people have just vanished into thin air.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
But tell me what you know.
The first was William, one of the fishermen here in Corinus. One day, he simply didn't return. At first, we thought that one of those sea monsters out there had eaten him in his boat for breakfast. But not too long afterwards, other people started disappearing from the town and the surroundings. Pretty random events, though. Everyone's at a loss so far. The way it looks, we'll just have to wait until we finally stumble across a clue.
I'd have gone about it differently.
Nobody ever asks me.
That's been known a long time.
You don't have to ask me.
Everybody knows by now. And it's gonna get even worse. Who says things like that? That's terrible.
Nothing there. Nothing to be had there.
Couldn't care less. I'm not telling you anything new.
One less monster around.
Nothing to be had there. Nothing to be had there.
No one really wants to hear that.
All that matters is strength. So don't tell me
It was
that.
his decision,
Where
wasn't
did you pick that up then?
That was obvious all along.
Things I can say.
Yeah, he really
Good thing you're here. I've got something for you to do.
What is it?
The farmer Bengar has complained that lately the militia from the city has been getting on his nerves. They're pressuring the farmer, probably trying to make him break with Onar. I want you to go to his farm and make it clear to the militia that they have no business there. Questions?
How can I find Bengar's farm?
In the southwest of the valley is a big stairway that leads to a high plain. That's where Bengar's farm is. If you get lost, ask the farmers in the fields how to find your way around the area.
Wouldn't be so sure.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Just step in and sort things
That's all just gossip.
It had to happen sooner or later.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Will it ever change? If he doesn't see that, I can't help him. I brought Lord Hagen your peace offering.
What did he say?
He said he would grant absolution to you, but not to your people.
That stubborn fool. Most of the men in the king's army are bigger cutthroats than my men.
What are you going to do now?
I'll have to find another way to get us out of here. If need be, we'll capture the ship. I'll have to think about it. Pulling my own head out of the noose and abandoning my men is out of the question.
Obvious all along.
I've got my own opinion.
Why do you want to go to the mainland so badly?
As you know, I served the king as a general, but his sycophants betrayed me because I knew something I shouldn't have known. They tossed me into the mining colony, and the king allowed it. I've had a lot of time to think about it. I shall avenge myself.
On the king?
On the king and on all his sycophants. They will all bitterly regret what they did to me.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
He ran like
I'm going to head for the Valley of Mines.
I didn't think you would stay on the farms for long. If you go back to the colony, keep an eye out for Gorn. The paladins are holding him prisoner there.
I never knew that.
Gorn is a good man, and I could really use him here, so if you get a chance to free him, take it.
Nothing amazes me anymore. What about some better armor?
Torloff has an assignment from Onar that should have been done some time ago. Take care of that first, then we'll talk about better armor.
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
You hardly know who to believe these days.
Don't say you didn't know that.
What weapons do you have to offer?
Only the best. Just take a look at
I
them.
knew that all along.
He never would have thought of that himself.
That's the first I've heard of it.
He doesn't even know how to hold a sword.
I can't believe that.
All that matters is strength. So don't tell me that.
He didn't get that from me.
Don't tell me you didn't know that.
He didn't get that from me.
Nothing amazes me anymore. Is it really true?
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
That was obvious all along.
I've got my own opinion about that. Where did you pick that up then?
He never would have thought of that himself. That was obvious all along.
It had to happen sooner or later.
I don't believe this is gonna change.
He never would have thought of that himself. Do you really believe that?
That's no secret.
Like Beliar himself was after it.
Nobody will learn anything, just gossip. Do you really believe that? That's all just gossip.
You don't have to tell me that.
That's been known a long
It
time.
was just like you said.
That's not what I heard.
Where did you pick that up?
Hey! Telling you anything new. He never would have thought of that himself.
Thought as much.
Is it really true?
That was quite obvious.
Yeah, he really said that.
I've got no time.
He doesn't see that.
That was quite obvious.
What kinds of weapons do you make?
Plain swords at the moment, not much else. But if I had some magic ore, I could forge weapons that are better than all comparable weapons made from regular old steel. You wouldn't happen to know where to find some around here? Besides in the Valley of Mines, I mean.
No.
Of course not.
He doesn't even know how to hold a sword.
Are you with the farmers or the mercenaries?
You're pulling my leg, aren't you?
I was just curious.
Have you ever seen a farmer who also forges weapons?
No.
Then why do you ask such stupid questions? You have to step in and sort things out. Nobody ever asks for my opinion.
That's all just gossip.
What about forging equipment?
What do you need?
No one really
That was quite obvious.
Do you really think? I couldn't
I
care
already
less.
thought as much.
About it.
You just have to listen.
I've got my own opinion about that.
That's really not my problem. If he doesn't see that,
But he knew that all along.
There's nothing you can do about it.
I hardly know what to believe.
That's really not my problem. He doesn't even know how to hold
I
a
hardly
sword.
know what to believe anymore.
That's not what I heard.
Where did you pick that up then?
Nothing's ever going to change that. No one can last.
Can't
I
rely
forgot
on
about it
Ran like
differently.
Beliar himself was after him. I don't know why he gets so worked up.
Bad business.
He thinks it's as easy as
I'm no better off
Stay
myself.
out of it.
I agree with you, if he doesn't see that.
I already thought as much.
Bad business.
I'm staying out.
Don't tell me you didn't know
I can't
that.
go on like this forever.
I'm no better off
I don't
myself.
believe this is going to change.
He really said that.
He thinks it's as easy as that.
That's
couldn't
all
say
just
you didn't
gossip.
know that.
I never knew that.
He ran like
That's been known
Beliar
for a long
himself was
time.
after him.
Tell me that isn't true.
Don't tell me you didn't know
That's
that.
quite obvious.
I've gone about it differently.
But he knew that all
Is it
along.
really true?
I couldn't care less.
Nobody will learn
You
anything
mustn't
from me.
believe everything you hear.
I'm not telling you anything
I'm
here.
not touching
He doesn't
that.
even know how to hold a sword.
Been there, done that.
That's
It can't go on like this forever. Nobody ever asked for
nobody will learn anything from me.
Hey!
Is it really true?
I'm not touching that.
That was obvious all
I
along.
hardly know what to believe.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
That will never change.
That's the first I've heard of it.
Hey, you!
Of course we got it in the end.
Tell me you didn't know that.
What about forging equipment?
What do you need?
That is a strength.
Wouldn't be so sure.
So don't tell me that. You don't really believe that?
I've heard a thing or two.
That was obvious all along.
That's no secret.
You hardly know
was
what to
quite
believe these
obvious.
days. That doesn't surprise
I've got
me.
my own opinion
That
about
was obvious
that.
all along.
That will never change.
Will it ever change?
That's the first I've heard of it.
You listen to the wrong
You
people.
mustn't believe everything you hear.
And that's the truth.
I'm no better off myself.
Wouldn't be so sure.
Is it really true?
I hardly know what to believe anymore.
That will never change.
I never knew that.
But he knew that all along.
Time. You listen to the wrong
It was
people.
just like you
He doesn't even
said.
know how to hold a sword.
Nobody wants to know.
He doesn't even know how to hold a
Got
sword.
my own opinion about that.
That was obvious all along. All that matters is strength.
That's
So don't tell me that. Yeah, he really said that.
That's quite a licking you took there, honey. Didn't I tell you? Now you know what I mean.
I'm happy to see you're having fun.
Don't you pull a face like that. You're not the first one who got beaten up by that
That was
scum.
no big deal.
Here, have a bite to eat so you'll gain back your strength.
nothing new.
Can I have some more of your stew?
I haven't got any now.
Not even a tiny bowl?
No.
Can I lick the pot then?
Will you cut it out? If you're so keen
No
on my
one really
stew,
wants to hear
you'll have
that.
to do something to get it.
What?
Go see Sagita, the healer who lives behind Sekop's farm, and bring me a
Been there,
package
done
of her herbs. If you bring me the herbs, I'll make you some stew.
Can't rely on that.
I could have told you that before.
That's no secret.
That is his strength.
Nobody ever asked for my opinion. I can't believe
If he
that.
doesn't see that, I can't help him.
Any news?
Now you are one of us. That's good.
Where did you pick that up then?
Will it ever change?
Same old thing all over again.
I'd have gone about
I've heard
it
a thing or two.
differently. Nothing amazes me.
Where did you pick that up then?
Yeah.
Do you have anything to sell?
Oh, don't ask. Bennett, one of the new guys, takes care of the weapons and armor now. In the colony, I was responsible for Lee's entire weapons store. And then along came a trained smith and pow, I'm out of a job. I desperately need a new job, even if all I do is guard the farms out there. I don't care, just as long as I'm not twiddling my thumbs here anymore.
Don't tell me you didn't know that. All that matters is strength.
I don't believe this is gonna change.
Don't tell me that. I'm better off myself.
That was quite obvious.
Have you tried finding a job in town?
In the city? Wild horses couldn't drag me there. Where do you think I would want to work there as a militia soldier? I can just imagine myself in the courtier's uniform, and then that obsession with obedience. Nah, forget it. There may not be anything to do here on the farm, but at least I can do what I want.
That's all.
You have to step in and
Nothing
sort
amazes
things
me
out.
anymore.
And? Found a new task yet?
Not so far. Let me know if you have a job for me.
I agree with you completely. You hardly know who to believe these days. Don't tell me you didn't know
You
that.
have to step in and sort things out.
I'd have gone about it differently. That's all just...
Damn it. What's up?
He thinks it's as
Trouble
easy
as
as
it
that.
is.
Nobody will learn anything from me. Is it really true?
He really didn't deserve that.
Nobody will learn anything from me. Nothing amazes me. I'd have gone about it differently.
That will
I've heard
never
a thing or
change.
two. You mustn't
That's
believe everything
not
you
my
hear.
problem.
Nobody
Is it
ever
really
asked
true?
my opinion. I wouldn't be so sure.
That's all just...
His decision, was
And? How are things?
Not many people come this way, but up to now, every one of them has paid my toll.
I'd have gone about it differently. It's a bad business.
It had to happen sooner or later.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
I couldn't care less.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
What does he know about duty?
I never knew that.
Can't rely on that.
Nothing to be had there.
No secret. You don't have to tell me that.
How's it going?
If you want to talk, talk to Rumbold. I'm just here in case anyone makes trouble.
I'm staying out of it.
What are you doing here?
Beat it! Understand?
That'll never change.
I never knew that.
I'm staying out of it.
That's nothing new.
You're the farmer here?
You could say so, but I'm really just a tenant. All the land here is owned by one big farmer.
I've got no time for things like that.
I'm not telling you anything new.
Tell me that isn't.
How do you make a living?
Mostly hunting and the wood we cut. Of course, we also raise sheep and work the land. Onar saddles me with all these laborers, and I have to keep them busy somehow. Only a few of them are good hunters, you see.
Been there, done that.
You have to feel sorry for the poor.
Has anything strange happened around here lately?
Many strange things are happening these days, but none as strange as the mysterious disappearance of Pardos. He's one of my field workers, and certainly not the kind who would drop everything overnight and slink off just like that, you see.
That's really not my problem.
What exactly is so strange about his disappearance?
Pardos is such a timid sort. The furthest he's ever been from the farm is to the end of my fields. He would run away at the mere sight of a meat bug. Those things may not be pretty to look at, but you really couldn't call them dangerous. They say there's people who eat them. Gross.
You get used to it.
Anything's possible.
I'm not telling you.
Maybe he was simply fed up.
Working in the fields was his life. I cannot imagine him having gone to work for another farmer.
I heard.
With me, he could do whatever he wanted.
Any clues at all?
I think those bandits must have dragged him off. They've been roaming around this area for days now. I once saw them drag a citizen of the town off to their camp. It looked like they were gonna make him a slave.
Why haven't I heard about this before?
If he doesn't see that.
Where is this bandit camp?
At the far end of my fields, some steps lead down to a small hollow. That's where they have made themselves at home. I'd like to go look for Pardos there, but there's no way I'm going up against those guys. And you had better give them a wide berth, too. They're not known for their sense of humor.
You don't have to ask me that.
Just listen to him talk.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Were the bandits carrying weapons when they passed by here?
What kind of stupid question is that? How would they be bandits if they weren't armed?
I mean, a whole load of weapons. A big delivery.
I see. Yes. Now that you mention it, they were carrying lots and lots. Some in barrels, some in bags, and some on the cart they brought.
He should have known better.
You're employing day laborers?
Onar sends away the workers he can't use on his farm. Then he sends them to me.
Let's wait and see what
I feed them and they work here for me.
I'm no better off myself.
What do you think of Onar?
He's a greedy bastard who'll get us all hanged in the end. One of these days, the paladins will come out of the city and make us small farmers bleed for what he's doing here. But I haven't got a choice. The militiamen only come here to collect and not to defend the farm. If I held myself loyal to the city, I'd be very much on my own. At least Onar sends some mercenaries now and then to see how we're doing.
Do you really believe that?
There's so many of you. Why didn't you just go up against the militia yourself?
It's true that there's a lot of us, but we're not trained fighters like the militia.
What have you got against the royal troops?
It's obvious. There hasn't been any improvement now that the paladins are in the city. Just the opposite. Now these cursed militiamen come onto our land even more often and steal everything they can, and the paladins don't do a darn thing about it. The only paladins that I've ever seen are the two guards at the pass. They wouldn't budge an inch, even if the militia slaughtered us all.
I wouldn't have done that.
The pass?
Yeah, the pass to the old valley of mines by the waterfalls at the other end of the high pastures. Ask Malik about it. He was there a couple times last week.
Is it really true?
I'm supposed to deal with your militia problem.
Here I was thinking no one would come now. I already told Onar days ago. What am I paying rent for? These bastards come by here once a week and collect the taxes for the city. It's a good thing you came just now. This is their usual time. They should be here any moment.
Sorry for the poor guy.
That's been known a long time.
Let the militia come then. I'll deal with them.
I can't wait. Here they come now. See? I told you so. Well then, good luck. You show 'em.
Who said that?
I agree with you completely.
Look at this one. Another joke. What are you doing here, huh? You're another one of those filthy mercenaries.
Nothing's ever gonna change that.
That's not what I heard.
I want you to disappear from here.
Well, well.
Watch out.
So you want us to disappear? What'll happen if we don't go, huh?
Anything's possible.
That's been known a long
In
time.
that case, you've bothered the farmers for the last time.
You've bitten off more than you can chew, moron.
Nothing amazes me anymore.
He should have known.
The things I could tell you.
It's a bad business.